Hey, good afternoon. It's Kristen, and it is Wednesday, so that means Holistic Wellness Wednesdays, where we talk about mental, spiritual wellness to fitness and nutrition and other health issues. So last week we talked about balance. Last week was Fall Prevention Week, and well, we really thought about it all week more than normal. Working for a hospital. If you work for a hospital, you were probably thinking about it last week. So that was last week. We did balance. This week we are going to be talking about morning rituals. So everyone has a morning ritual that they use, and waking up at the same time of day probably, and having a certain routine of starting your day with the habits that you've incorporated over the years. So some of that is about organization, right? So what we're going to do is really think about maybe putting things out the night before. And if you have children, you know how that works. It really does help a lot. And it helps as we go into an adulthood. So putting out your clothes, maybe putting out the things that you need to take to school or work. Thinking about maybe your lunches and having that already made and ready to go in the fridge is really helpful for starting the day, so that you're not running around like a crazy person trying to find your keys and everything else, like we've all done, trust me. So you're going to want to have some type of routine in that respect. So we pretty much all know that, right? And also, I've seen the video with this gentleman, and I believe he's a corporal, talking about how important it is to make your bed. And it's funny because it's about, if you've done one thing right, or you've accomplished something, you've accomplished making your bed. And he takes it from such a entertaining conversation. So what I'm going to do is put a link underneath the video, and so you guys can watch that if you haven't already. So those are things that pretty much people do. But some other things that you can incorporate into it, if you haven't thought of them, or maybe you do, is lemon water in the morning. Is such a valuable thing to do for digestion and for detoxing and purifying the body. So that's something that you can incorporate first thing in the morning before your Java, which I know there are some people out there like myself that love their Java. So having that lemon water is really a nice thing to do for yourself, and you'll get in the habit of doing that and having your lemon water. And I love having it at night too. I mean, I just love lemon water. If you can tolerate citrus, it's a really great option. So adding that into your ritual, and of course movement. We've talked about movement and how important that is, but really incorporating some of that into your day, especially first thing in the morning with the yoga or with mat Pilates. Now with mat Pilates and with yoga, you can really incorporate that meditative state and bring meditation into that, because you're quiet with yourself, and you can take some of that time to meditate, and it doesn't need to be into a pretzel position and humming a word or whatever. It's just getting quiet within yourself and feeling your body. I mean, there's nothing like a mat Pilates experience because of just the quiet. I think the mat Pilates and gardening are the only two places that I can go and clear my mind and really feel relaxed yet energized. It's just amazing. So a really great way to start your day. It's like my Pilates mentor had said, like, you really need to get that into your body, and you need to have your practice, your daily practice. So doing some form of movement, whether it's mat or yoga, whichever you prefer, would be invaluable. So having that daily practice, very valuable. So not to mention it clears your mind and you're ready to go for the day. So that's going to be really a great tool. And you can do that outside. So with that outside time, we want to spend time in nature. We want to be outside and get some fresh air. You can incorporate that into your exercise, into your movement. and the first thing in the morning if you have the time. Now, personally, a lot of mornings I wake up and it's still dark, so I do have an area over in one of my gardens on the side of the house that my son and I made, and we have an area where we created a place for a mat, or you can sit with a chair or whatever you want to do, and it's amongst all the plants and the hummingbird feeders, so it is very, it's very relaxing and very beautiful, and like a sanctuary that you may need to do your practice, maybe 5 or 10 minutes. You can either do it outside or have your little sanctuary inside your house. You just have your little mat set up, you have everything ready to go. You can even burn incense in the morning if that's something that you like. The essential oils are really valuable too in that respect. I love the thieves oil. It's the cinnamon and spice, which, you know, it's pumpkin spice season, so that's really a great time of year. So, but there are so many different oils that you can utilize and either energize with that citrus and the peppermints and all of those types of things, or you can relax with the lavenders and the vanillas and things. So, you know, down the line we may do a video on that too, so we'll talk about that more in detail later. But at any rate, once you've done all of that, you can incorporate your breakfast, of course. Some people are breakfast eaters, some people are not. You may prefer to have a smoothie, and just one thing that I would really highly recommend is greens in your smoothie, and having the kale and the spinach and the dandelion and that sort of thing that you have in the fridge. You can throw it in your blender with your protein powder and put a couple blueberries, berries, whatever you like, peaches, whatever. And frozen fruit is really great because you can just throw it in, it makes everything cold, and it's great. Now, if you're in a pinch and you need to get going and run out the door and you have a shaker, you can always, you know, buy greens. Personally, I utilize isogenics, so I'll put my protein and the greens, and I'll grab my shaker and run out the door sometimes when I don't have time to make a smoothie with the greens from my fridge. So, and the powdered greens tend to have more kinds of greens that you may not have in your fridge, so sometimes it's good to change it up and have the fresh and then have the, you know, powdered, and, you know, make that a part of your routine. It energizes you for the rest of the day. Really, the greens it's just like a miracle. My clients, my early morning clients, can testify when I've had my greens and if I've forgotten, you know, so you should really try it if you're not doing it currently. And try to do it in the morning, which is really a good time to do it. So now finally, the last thing that you may do or may not do is a gratitude journal, which is a beautiful thing because you can either do it the night before, you can set your intention the night before, or you can set your intention in the morning if you're a very clear person when you wake up in the morning and you're rocking it, and you can make your intentions and write these things down in the morning. But doing it at night is fine too. You can set your intention for the next day and then read it in the morning and review it and set your intention. Now, intention can be anything from just very simplistic things. You can even, the way that you appreciate people. I find that that's really an awesome thing to do, is to really think about all the people in your life that you really appreciate. You know, kiss your spouse and, you know, give a little grab before they go to work. You know, do something to show some affection. You know, and with children, I mean, my kids can testify that too, that that I will send emojis and text them. And, you know, I have a child that's in college right now that, you know, is far away, and it sometimes can be difficult. So I will text him or send him an emoji or do something, you know, just to show him some, you know, that I'm thinking about him, some attention. So, and my daughter, I will send her pictures, and we talk to each other all through our day. So it's really good to reach out to people like that and make maybe that your intention, that you reach out to more people and that you text somebody a picture, or you text them, hey, what's happening, or what's going on, or something you come across, it's funny, send it to them. Allow people to know that you're thinking about them, you know, and it will really feed your energy, and you will have more energy, and you will attract more positive into your life because you're positive. And it's a really great way to start your day, and to think, okay, today I'm gonna tell a couple people even at work. I mean, there's some crazy people at work that I love to joke around with, and I'm smiling all day long, with my coworkers. They're great, people to joke around with too, and you want to, go out of your way to do that, because it becomes so automatic and it just becomes a great thing, and that's your intention. Maybe your intention is to pass on the junk food. Don't grab that piece of, that piece of bread with the sandwich. Just have the sandwich, just have the meat or whatnot, and know what you want to work on with your diet. So don't grab the soft drink or grab the chips with the sandwich, or, whatever it is. But make that your intention and write it down and make it so. So something like that. Even exercise, you can put your intention on exercise. You can put your intention on anything in your life. So you can change that up. So it doesn't have to be every day, well, I'm grateful that I woke up this morning. Well, yeah, you should be grateful you woke up this morning, but there are a lot of things that you can change it up. And some people do struggle with that. It's a little challenging some days. But once you start doing it, you might find that it becomes a little more interesting, and you start thinking out of the box a little bit with things that you're grateful for. And then you send your intention out there, and things just seem to be better for some reason. All of a sudden you feel a little better, you feel a little happier, things are gelling, and you're like, I wonder what that is. And it might be just the mere fact of setting out that intention and feeling good about it. So some things to think about for your morning rituals. I'm going to actually put this in a PDF form, and I'm going to put it underneath the video, so you are able to look at it if there's anything that struck you, like, I forgot about that, or, oh, that was a good thing, I haven't done that, or, just some way to review some of these things. And then you'll have it in a form where you can see it. So if you have any other suggestions on morning rituals that you love to do, please put them in the comments. And